So I first became aware of my next guest from his handle on X, Dollars and Data. Then came his first book, Just Keep Buying, phenomenal book, and now Nick Maggiulli has a new book out. It's The Wealth Ladder, Proven Strategies for Every Step of Your Financial Life. Joining me now, Rit Holtz, Wealth Management, the Chief Operating Officer, Nick Maggiulli. And first of all, before we get to the book, I'm always curious, what made you write the book? Like, was there a lot of conversations you were having with people? I know it's always sort of the topic of the day, but was there any sort of thing that said, you know what, I've got to write this book?
Yeah, so with my first book, Just Keep Buying, I try to give a one-size-fits-all solution for investing and building wealth, and I realized that it was incomplete. It's a good first start, sure, but for people that are just starting out that have debt, it's not the right answer, and for people that want to get incredibly wealthy, right, 10 million plus, it's not the right answer either. So I had to come up with a better framework for that, and that's what I did in the Wealth Ladder.
And so the Wealth Ladder, you break down wealth into 6 distinct levels, right? And I guess the notion is, at every level comes a different strategy or a different approach?
Yeah, you have a different strategy to move up to a new level, and you have a different strategy to prevent yourself from falling down. So there's different risks, there's different things that get amplified across the wealth ladder, and I discuss all of that in the book as well.
What should be a greater focus? I mean, if there's such a thing as like, do I put most of my efforts into not falling down, or do I put most of my efforts into moving up the next rung?
It depends which level you're at, Charles, right? If you're in level 1, I mean, there's not more to go down, so you have to really kind of make sure you don't fall into bad luck, get an emergency fund, things like that. If you're in like level 5 or 6, you have an extreme amount of wealth, you have to watch out for overconcentration. Those people tend to own have a lot of money in individual business, and if that business doesn't do well from bad luck or some sort of bad circumstance, they could lose a lot of their wealth very quickly.
I was reading somewhere, checking out all the different reviews about 10x in your wealth. Is that a possibility? Like someone watching the show, is it possible that they can 10x their current wealth?
Yeah, it is possible. About 15% of U.S. households will go from one wealth level to another within 10 years, and I think it's up to like 18% by the time you do 20 years. So depends on the time scale, but yes, people will move across wealth levels over time, and it is possible.
So there's, by the way, congratulations, you got great coverage on this book, right? Yesterday in the Journal, the Wealth Ladder Review, The Climb Toward Security. The only thing it said, accumulating wealth helps you make more purchases without worrying about your finances. It can also create complications. So let's talk about the complications.
Well, they say more money, more problems, right? That's it. I mean, but it really is true. Like if you start to think, I know it's, very, first world problems type thing, but as you build more wealth, a lot of the relationships and other parts of your life can be impacted by wealth and how you treat them and how you work with them as well.
So there's a line though here that from the article, and I know this is happening with a lot of young people. There's the social media. I think it's a good thing that it's creating a lot of young entrepreneurs. I think the bad thing is they think they're going to hit it overnight and without a lot of work, right? Open up an LLC and go to the beach, right? That kind of stuff. You say it says let your ambition be your fuel so long as it doesn't spoil everything else. That's a tough balancing act.
Yeah, and I also think one of the other things too is, most successful entrepreneurs are actually in their 40s. And the reason why is because they have 2 things that 20-year-olds don't have. They tend to have money and experience, the 2 things that really help you launch a business because you've been in the trenches, you kind of know what it's like, you've done things in your industry, and then you can take that knowledge and expertise and actually build a successful business.
In this world, particularly in this environment we're in, wealth can be looked down upon. I mean, everyone loves when their favorite athlete signs a $100 million contract, but they feel like someone else is greedy. One of the lines in here is from J.D. Rockefeller. When asked about how much money is enough, the answer is just a little bit more. Is that for security reasons? I mean, is that something we should all be thinking about?
I mean, it's definitely, especially in the United States where healthcare costs are unknown, that's where I think a lot of that saving mentality comes from because you don't know if you're going to get...
I mean, you could have a lot of money and then be sued, someone could slip in front of your house, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Divorce is big, those kind of things. There are a lot of ways to lose money quickly. Once you have it, like more money, more problems, I guess that gets back to what you're saying.
Yeah.
But Nick, here's another thing though on that same topic. In 2001, people over 55 had 50% of the wealth. Now they have 70% of the wealth. Is the pie even big enough now for folks, the younger folks, to achieve that wealth, to get up the wealth ladder, if it's still crowded with folks who won't give it up?
I mean, well, one piece of this is some of that money will obviously be passed down over time. Right. That's one thing. So time is a problem. The other thing is a lot of this money is locked up. Like this whole housing assets. I mean, and the housing market isn't moving, right? So it's on paper, yes, they have a lot of money, but if they all went to sell those houses right now, the prices would all plummet and all that wealth would evaporate, and that number wouldn't be 70% anymore. So I think that's another thing to think about, is that a lot of this is still paper wealth, and if people start moving the market, I think we're going to see some of this maybe is not as large as we thought.
All right, so you're the data scientist. You've been doing this. Your work. I'm telling you, I stumbled on your X thing at least 10 years ago. I loved it. I mean, it's just instantly. I said, this dude knows his stuff. So, folks, the Wealth Ladder. I tell everyone they should pick it up. Really, thanks a lot.
I appreciate that so much, Charles. Thanks for having me.
You did it again, my man. You did it again. All right, so.